Yeah. Let me drop exclusive game from my exclusive mind. You be out here chasing fame, I stay steady on my grind. Zero diamonds, zero.
Thank you for tapping into the Exclusive Minds podcast. Today we're going to be having an exclusive conversation with exclusive content from Exclusive Minds. I'm your host, Rook, and
Joe.
Let's get right into it.
Yo, we are back. Episode 23.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Welcome, boys and girls of all ages.
What's going on? How you been?
Good. Can't complain.
Yeah,
Getting ready for some travel this week. Going down to warmer climate, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm going to be in Tampa for a couple of days and then Greenville, South Carolina for a few days. So.
Don't get eaten by an alligator.
Don't get eaten by an alligator. I'll try and keep that in mind. I can't imagine that's going to happen, but shit.
You never know, dude.
You never know.
I guess like the first thing I guess we should start off by doing more is promoting the website. I don't think last week episode we put that in. So go shop www.exmnds.com,
Yes.
You know, selfless plug till the day we die. So right.
ExclusiveMindsPodcast.com.
Yeah.
ExclusiveMinds.us. Get you there as well. But yes, please go to the website. What the hell's going on with the clothes?
I haven't heard anything from.
Well,
he has it, so I mean, this time's different.
Our operations director is really screwing with us here, so I'm gonna have to kick his ass on the way out. But yeah, we got clothes coming. I know
they're dropped
every time
off.
I do the emails, I'm telling you guys we got clothes coming. I assure you we do. So hopefully a week out. I can't imagine it's gonna be more than a week. Right?
No, I mean I'll give
I'm
him.
Going
I
out
could
on a
call him
limb here
today.
and putting it on podcast. So
I'll call him. I mean,
no, it's fine. But yeah, so we're probably a week or so out. We do have clothes.
I'm excited for him too.
And these are our next gen 2.0. We called it clothes. So this is kind of a vast improvement on the materials, but it is coming. I know. It's coming. It's coming.
We could say that until the day we die. Until we deliver a product, it's gonna be, it's gonna be coming though. It has to be. But yeah, talk about. I was just telling you on the way up here. Talk about a boring week. I don't know if this is the same for you, but literally nothing's went on this week. Like I was surfing through Netflix, and I just don't have the I don't know, what do you call it? The drive to watch like a full-on TV show or a movie anymore, and all the stuff on there is kind of trash. Like, I mean, it's not like a jab to Netflix, just in general. I haven't found anything that's piqued my interest. I stumbled across a Apple TV show literally this week. I didn't even know it was out. It's it's a serialized story of, I don't know if you know WeWork. No, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, so I mean, I only know it because we actually sold some product to them, and they were a potential client. It never worked out. But so WeWork is shared office space, but it's kind of like the, millennial Gen Z kind of theme. Everything's, you can get free coffee, free kombucha, but it's shared workspace, right? So you pay them you as a company or you as an individual, you pay a membership fee, and you can basically just show up in New York City, and they've got like multiple buildings in all the cities. And if you just, cop a squat and do your work,
cool.
Right? They're really cool facilities. They really are. But there's a whole, like this guy, I think he ended up walking away with billions of dollars, but he apparently is just a complete like crazy loon.
Oh, Christ.
And I guess you got to be crazy sometimes to do it. But it's a whole story about him and his wife, and it's pretty wild. But I caught that on Apple, so I've been watching that. They're only like 4 episodes in, but my TV appetite kind of comes and goes.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we just went yesterday to go see Morbius.
Oh, don't tell me, because I do want to go see it this week while I'm traveling. If I have some free time,
I won't say any spoilers. It was good. It was just like all right. It was just all right all around.
So wasn't as good as Batman. Is that what you're saying?
Oh no. I think it had like 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not even kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
not
one of
good
my friends.
For a Marvel movie.
Well, it's Sony, I think, isn't it? Or is it Marvel and Sony? I thought it was just Sony.
I think. Oh, I don't know. Because I guess he's coming out of the Batman universe. So, not Batman. Sorry, Spider-Man.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think it's just Sony.
I'm pretty sure it's a Marvel. It's
I don't know.
Marvel
We'll
at this
see.
point.
But it was all right. I mean, it kind of like, you'll just have to watch it. I'm not going to get
here's the funny thing. So the guy who is Morbius,
Jared Leto,
he's in the television show I just talked to you about with WeWork.
Oh, really?
He's the guy, right?
He was good in it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Jared Leto is one of those guys where you like him or you don't like him.
I think he's a great actor, man.
Yeah, I think he's
Honestly,
pretty good.
cool.
I don't have anything bad to say about him. But no, going back to the Netflix thing. So the last thing I watched on Netflix, and this is to kind of like to put you in the headspace of like what I pick and what I don't pick. I was watching the Tinder swindler we were talking about. Remember with the guy who like skimmed it, and like kind of going back on it, I feel like it was almost like a waste, right? Like if you think about it, think about it. So it's a guy who scams money off of girls. That's kind of the bottom line. There's no who died. No one died. Okay, well there's like nothing like really entertaining or grasping you in. So it's just like a master con artist, I guess, if you're like into that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a society who's given, birth to this Beverly Hillbilly wives of whatever. Sure. I mean, come on.
It's just like it's like useless content. Like, I mean, right? Like it could have been done, I guess, in like a 1-part end all thing. But like now we're kind of moving on to like a 4, 5, 6-part series. Like Jesus, like ended already. Like kind of give the
they got to milk it for everything it's worth.
Right.
Fill content, and it's got to I can imagine the pressure for original programming. It's just got to be off the charts because I don't know this for a fact, but the way I've kind of consumed pay services is there's something I want to watch, and then as soon as I'm kind of done with consuming that, I'm like, okay, you shut the service off, right? I mean, that's how Netflix is for me, right? When they had all the Marvel stuff, I'd get it. I'd binge watch like Daredevil and Punisher, and then as soon as there was nothing really new available, I would cancel it immediately.
Give it the boot. Right.
And it's all about, so I mean, it's got to be all about original content. And man, I tell you, I mean, Netflix I can never understand. At least like Disney and I'm trying to think what else. I mean, really just Disney and Apple, right? They put it out weekly, right? So if it's a 10-season thing, it's 10 weeks, right? So you're committed. Like you got to lock in for 10 weeks. It's only 2.5 months, but
yeah, Netflix has that binge
Netflix
model.
just dumps it, and it's like, holy Christ! And I'm a kind of person who, if there's 13 episodes, I'm freaking watching all 13 episodes on the weekend, right?
No,
straight through, and it kind of sucks, and it doesn't suck, but
I have this theory that all movies are going to be only like I guess you could call them the blue chip movies are going to still be relevant. I feel like most things are slowly turning into TV shows. I guess you could use that example for the Moonlight or Moon Knight, the new one that just came out.
Yeah.
I think that's what like kind of we're leaning more towards because like truth be told, if we were to like take the Batman for example, and you were to put that into more like a long formed out series, I feel like that would constantly be like entertaining and constantly have content like. The one with the Riddler, they could have that stretched out.
I mean, a movie, even like Batman, right, where you stretch it to 3 hours, you're trying to tell a story in 3 hours, where if you've got 10 episodes that are 50 minutes apiece, right, you got
way more context.
9 to 10 hours of storytelling, and I would imagine it's probably cheaper to do. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I mean, the production values these days on the television shows are pretty high, so it's not like you're.
I wouldn't say that it would be cheaper. I would say probably higher, like the ROI would probably be higher because you're like kind of spanning that out for weeks, making it constantly relevant, selling merchandise, selling whatever throughout those. I don't know, would you say like 2 months or whatever?
Yeah.
So there might be a higher like return there, but I think that's my theory. I just think that within the next coming years, we'll see more, I guess, Netflix, what is that? Disney Plus?
Yep.
Apple type movies or whatever. Apple TV shows, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get to the point, though, where they start to cannibalize each other. Because, I mean, how many services can you pay for? I mean...
Yeah, right.
It's just insane at this point. I mean, I don't know. I shake my head. Like, Paramount Plus just came out, right? And... I'm like, you can't buy all this shit. So you just gotta, I mean, I'm subscribed to Disney Plus, which unfortunately for other reasons is driving me bananas, but I like Star Wars. And so as long as they continue to kind of put out
Mandalorian.
Well, Mandalorian, and now they've got Obi-Wan Kenobi coming out. They did, I liked some of the cartoonish or the cartoon-based Star Wars stuff, like the Bad Batch and stuff like that. So, I mean, I dig that content, right? And the Marvel stuff too, right? So I'm watching Moon Knight. So that's about the only one I think I really pay for. Apple, I kind of have only because I have the one plan because I have the iCloud storage and the music and all the other stuff. So it's almost like a throw-in. I probably would I think with Apple, I'd probably do the same sort of Netflix thing. I'd probably buy it in Windows if it wasn't for the fact that it's kind of just baked into my monthly sort of deal. But Yeah, how many of these can you do? I mean,
Yeah.
I right now. I mean, I'll tell you right now. And I think we talked about this. I want to get rid of cable so bad.
I know. Why don't you
can't.
do it?
Well, it's hard. I mean,
I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, for me, I would just say like cut it off and then see what happens. But then, like, I know, like, it'll probably be like.
I mean, other than I mean, the fact that I would kind of sort of lose out on sports, like soccer is like the only thing, and I don't know. I could get rid of it. I just part of it's also because it's tied to my freaking Verizon Fios, my internet service.
Yeah.
So if you uncouple the TV part of it, and you just pay for the fiber into the house, it's really not that big of a delta. So what I want to do is they're starting to roll out these 5G services, and I'm like, I'll cut the cord completely, and I'll just get one of these wireless internet plans because the freaking speeds are nuts. And
yeah, it all comes down to that, dude. Like if you're living in a household,
I'm not playing the online video games anymore too, which is the other reason why I've always been reluctant. Like when you're playing Warcraft and you just need like
the best,
you need high bandwidth, low latency, and I'm starting to move away from those. I mean, Noah would be pissed probably, but he's playing an 8-bit freaking Roblox game. How much, you know?
Yeah, I mean, for my, I don't know, in 2022, if you don't have good internet, like you're put back at a huge disadvantage. I mean, between video games or Zoom or Microsoft Teams or whatever, you're kind of just like in the dark. My friend Wade, he was on the podcast with us. He has like, his speeds are absolutely like atrocious. Like he's getting like maybe 1 to 2 like megabytes upload and download. So his stuff
what the hell is he?
Frontier. But with Frontier, they have like monopolized his area. They're the only ones that go out to that area.
When you get into the smaller markets, they're like the cable company is the one. Well, that's the really nice thing about this wireless technology, right? Because
just reach everywhere.
They're just going to basically piggyback off the cell towers.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He wanted to get Starlink, but his parents are like, "What the hell? Like, you're going to put satellites on our roof and all this stuff?"
It's not
flipping out on
them.
It's
not a satellite in the traditional sense, like Dish Network. No, it's just a little box. It's like a hotspot.
I mean, he would do it. I mean, I don't know. I was trying to convince him to do it, and he was just like, maybe, yeah. Like, he's down to do it. It's just I think his like parents had some.
It's not
like,
cheap
weird...
though. Starlink's not cheap.
Is it just for internet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another option, right? I didn't even think about that, but I think Starlink, the issues is it's expensive and it's slow, right? It is obviously if you have a freaking 1 megabit connection, anything's going to be faster. But like for me to go from
like
1 gig direct to the house to like 50 megabit, Starlink,
significantly cut. It's more for those guys that are in the rural areas though, that like you know what I mean, that don't
for now,
have that.
I mean, eventually it's I guess if the speed increases, it'll be fine. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of dip my toe in that pool, sitting there going, I got to cut the cord, and then I'm like, I can't cut the cord, and there's always reasons.
If you were to cut the cord, right, could you still get like generic television? Is that still like a thing? So like,
you
get
have
news?
to. I think you'd have to get a like an antenna. So like all of the the ABC, NBC, right. CBS, and I think maybe Fox. You can get over the air for free, but you do need an antenna. So basically, you just throw an antenna in your attic or something like that, and you just run a coax down to your television because all televisions still have coax connections, and then you can basically get it, and you can actually even get 4K. I think over the air antenna servers. You need a high definition antenna, but you could do it. But then you're just getting the main television things. And who watches ABC, NBC?
My bad.
I mean, nobody watches those anymore. They don't even have any good shows anymore. It's like, I mean, seriously, I can't remember the last time I watched Magnum PI. That's the only thing I watch on CBS. And
yeah, no, I think the last time I watched, like, we're talking like sat down, watched television. Had to have been like maybe middle school. No. I'm talking like actually a television show. Would probably be like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. I never got into Disney or anything like that, but definitely like those. That was like the only time. And then there's just like been like a switch ever since like you got your first like iPhone. Turn on YouTube, turn on Twitch. You get to watch it with amongst, real time, less, what do you call that? Less like filters you have to go through. Hey, I'm trying to show Joe this content of me playing Apex Legends. I don't have to go through a PR guy, this guy. Just click live, and then I get to show it to you. And
Yeah,
that's dope.
I mean, look, I mean, your generation doesn't watch TV like we used to. I mean, it's funny. I
mean, at first maybe when we were younger.
Well, of course. I mean, so I mean, like I look at Natalie and Noah, right? And it's not like I'm a parent who, forbid watching TV, right? If they want to watch TV, more power to them, right?
Yeah.
Neither one of them watches TV ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I can't. I mean, I can't tell you, other than obviously, like if we're getting together with the family and watching the Super Bowl,
Sure.
I cannot honestly tell you the last time I saw Noah or Natalie watch regular television ever, right? Everything that they consume is through freaking YouTube and TikTok, which is scary in itself, but
it's the
for
new
a whole
world.
different reason.
Yeah.
But
So, like, let's say we take out sports out of the global television atmosphere. So it's only news. How long do you think that business model will last? Because if you think about it, I mean, I would say, like, news.
It won't. I mean, as long as guys like me age, or, people of my generation age out, to the point where we pass away, that's the only thing I think that keeps kind of
sports in the news,
regular TV alive. I mean, your generation, it's over. I mean, it's over now. They just, I mean, they're waiting for the dust to settle. I mean, honestly, because I mean, I can't. I mean, I'm sure there's some 20 to 40-year-olds that continue to watch traditional TV, but I gotta admit, it's got to be falling off a cliff.
If there's any producers out there want to hire me and Joe to bring back television, just let us know. We'll come through. Come do some dope ass television.
You can vet shows with us, and
we'll shoot you down. No, so this week, I know last week we kind of briefly talked about it. We were talking about kind of us settling the dust, I guess you could say, with the NFTs and crypto. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I just copped up on 4 more NFTs this week to double down on my initial investment. And then, what's it called? On top of that, I think the altcoins are making a turn back around. So they were just down the past couple months, but I think I see some upward charting. So I got like this thing called Trader View. It's just like you could kind of like see the charts and all that.
I mean,
like,
Coinbase has that too. So,
but you could like put like a lines on it, and you could see like the trends and stuff like that. And I was looking at it, and then I was doing some comparison to like some of the Discords that I'm in, and a lot of people think that like Decentraland and Sand are going to go
we're going to talk about that because I'm going to lose my mind on that shit too.
Okay.
So let's talk about that in a second because I got an update on that.
Oh, right. You actually got on.
You got to be freaking kidding me with Decentraland. But go ahead.
All right. Finish. So yeah. So no, that was basically it. So I think there's like a huge turnaround, and the reason that I got the 4 new NFTs is because there's a thing called like an airdrop, and they basically give you so I bought 4 initially, right? They airdrop you 4 more, but all you have to do is pay gas.
We're talking digital avatars again, right? Is that what you're talking?
Yeah, but this one is the one where they donate their proceeds to the like an organization.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah.
And let me guess, it's an ape of some sort.
No, not an ape. These ones are tigers.
Tiger.
Yeah,
okay,
tiger.
at least it's some sort of an animal, right?
Yeah.
Tiger or ape. That's it.
But yeah, so we'll see. I mean, they went up. They doubled in value already. So
you gotta be kidding.
I swear to God.
Come on. I mean, seriously. Like, so if you are telling me that you just put in whatever it was, I'd say it's $100, and you can now get $200 in like a week, take the goddamn money and run.
You think?
This is just insane. So let me talk about Decentraland, right?
Okay, so you were on there.
So obviously last week we talked about how I had caught this, social media post. I think it was Chevrolet. I'm still not even sure if it was Chevrolet, but I think it was Chevrolet that was talking about the like Metaverse Fashion Week.
Oh, Fashion Week.
On Decentraland,
okay.
Right? It was a whole week, supposedly. So I was like, okay, let me get on Decentraland and check it out. And of course, I went to Decentraland, and of course, last podcast I bitched and complained about how I couldn't get on with Safari. So I tried it again, and it turns out I got on. I don't know what the deal is, but there's definitely an issue with Safari. But I got in, and
oh wait, you got on with Safari?
I did.
So
in fairness, right?
Codes. Yeah, okay.
But there's like a huge lag and delay with Safari for some reason. So I don't know. It also could have been my VPN. Who knows? But anyway, I did get in. And when you log in, there's 2 options. One is to obviously set up an account with a full-blown wallet and, all this digital connection. Or you can just log in as a guest. And it tells you, for full disclosure, that your abilities or features are going to be limited. But I signed in as a guest because I didn't want to go through all the wallet shit. Actually, I tried to go through the wallet shit, and they don't support Coinbase wallet. And I'm like, come on,
Wait,
man.
really? Damn.
You have to basically sign up for some
MetaMask or probably.
whatever their wallet is, basically, right? It kind of forces you into it. I'm like, come on. Coinbase is like one of the biggest crypto companies, and you don't support their wallet? Come on. So anyway, I signed in as a guest. And so I don't even know where to start with this. This is just, I'm like, what am I? I mean, I know I'm an old dude, right? But this is just, what the hell is the hype?
I've never been on it. I don't know what. So I don't know anything.
I mean, if you played Minecraft and Roblox, it's
I played
that.
Minecraft. Yeah.
Okay, that's it, right? You log in and it's 8-bit graphics.
Okay.
It's garbage. Garbage.
Wait,
Hear me out. It's garbage, right? So if you've played Roblox and you played,
Minecraft,
Terraria, any of these 8-bit based games, that's it, right? The navigation and the controls are awful. I mean, just awful, right? It's like, oh God. And I'm like, okay, let me check out this Fashion Week. And you go, and if you play Roblox, right? So they've created, if you ever think about like an outdoor mall, with the storefronts and stuff like that, that's what they created, right?
So it's like side by side, like parallel
so
to
I mean, you're walking around with your little 8-bit Lego guy, right? And you can walk into these storefronts, and the Fashion Week, I mean, it's brands that I've never heard of, and I'm sure they're legit brands.
Do you remember any of them?
Well, I mean, Dolce & Gabbana was one of them, right? And I don't even,
shit!
But I don't even know if it was them.
Oh, you think it's just some other guy?
I don't know. Right? You walk in there, and of course, what it's basically like a storefront, and what they've got like these little, I guess they're kiosks where they've got like a rotating. It's supposed to be a
display
Dolce & Gabbana dress or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, this I get it, right? Let me click on this, and you click on it, and nothing happens. There's like no link back to their website, or I can buy this digital dress, and I'm like, okay, so what the hell's the point of this? And they were all like that, and it could be again that I didn't have a digital wallet assigned to my account, and maybe it wouldn't link through. But I'm just like, it's not like you're. Like me, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to put on like the Oculus goggles, and it's going to be like, it's going to be like 4K video, like of me basically just going to the store. That's what I'm thinking. Metaverse, right? I'm thinking real world,
but it wasn't.
It's not even freaking close.
Yeah.
Like if you play goddamn Minecraft.
I was going to say, so there's a couple things to break down there, but if you're comparing it to Minecraft, I think Minecraft should just pivot and make their own thing, right?
They should. That's the other thing that we talked about, like the barrier to entry. And is Amazon and Meta, Meta or Facebook, whatever they want to call themselves today, are they all just kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what happens, or waiting for the technology to mature? Because there is, I mean, if Minecraft came into this whole Metaverse
blow
thing,
out the water,
it's over, right? And so I'm like, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I go onto their marketplace, and the big thing there is, I think you mentioned it, right? Like Snoop buys a plot of land in Decentraland or Sandbox, and there's a whole shitload of that, and I'm looking at the prices, and I'm like, all right, this is an Ethereum. I'm like, I start doing conversions, and I'm like, wait, time out here, right? These people are trying to sell this shit for like
hundreds of thousands,
if not millions of dollars, and I'm like, this is just bullshit.
So my whole thing, like I briefly talked about last podcast, is you're kind of gambling on the future of that being the platform. So you're kind of
right, and I guess in theory, if you luck out and choose the right one, you are huge, golden. Right? But there's right now, I mean, there's really just Decentraland and Sandbox. There's probably others that I don't even know of
that are just not as big, right?
And I am telling you, there is nothing that prevents somebody else from coming into this industry and crushing Decentraland in seconds. It's that bad.
We would have to do more research on it, but back to your thing. So I think with Decentraland and Sandbox is they're paid to play games. So if you're spending a substantial amount of hours, right? Let's call it like 1,000 hours you're on there logged. I think you get paid to do that though, right? Or no?
I mean,
you get paid out in sand or paid out in mana or something.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't get into it that far to kind of understand the nuances of that. I mean, I just wanted to look at it from. Is this something that would entice me to go back? And I am telling you, I'm not going back. And I literally logged off and I was like, screw this. I'm going to transfer my Decentraland into Bitcoin. I'm just out of this whole
did you?
altcoin. I didn't.
Oh, you were thinking about it.
But I was like, this is just horseshit.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
And I mean, I get the, like the real world companies like Adidas and stuff like that getting into this space. I'm just like, aesthetically, and as a guy who games, right, and you can play Elden Ring where the graphics are off the
4K,
charts,
right.
right, or I play Dying Light and I get vertigo because it feels like I'm on the top of a skyscraper hopping between ledges and stuff like that, where this is just
Not
awful.
that.
It's carbon.
Yeah.
I don't get the appeal.
So, like you said, I feel like
No,
once...
I mean, Roblox and Minecraft are super popular, right? So
Yeah.
it could be me, but I'm like, there's,
Yeah, night and day. I think
sorry,
No,
I
you're
hate
good.
to keep talking over you, but so I'm just venting. But
You're
so
good.
like I'm thinking, like, and I'm in this, I'm in Decentraland, and I'm in the Dolce Gabbana store, and I'm like, okay, so this is going to appeal to kids like Noah, right? 16, 17, maybe 18-year-olds. And I guess as soon as you get to 18, you start to mature into
Realizing
other
that's
games.
like,
Like, I want to play Call of Duty or something like that, and Roblox is over. But I'm like, okay, so what the hell? I mean, this audience is sub 25 for Decentraland. It has to be.
Yeah,
right?
I would even say less than that,
And
probably. Yeah.
I'm like, do sub 25s buy like Dolce Gabbana clothes where it's like $400 for a t-shirt or a dress that's like, $8,000? I mean, so there's a disconnect in my head, right?
Yeah. I would say so from someone who was trying to do so in high school. That was the thing. You would try to buy these clothes that was crazy priced. So I guess it could fit that market, and especially if it's something where you're religiously playing. Like, for example, I was gonna say like Call of Duty or
But I mean,
Apex.
like-
If they were to put that out, I would buy it just because like I play that every single day. Well, maybe not like for $400, but if it's something where it's a stable platform that that's gonna be the platform for the next 10 years, call it, or do something where I guess it's like a Warcraft thing where you're staying on that same type of platform, just evolving it slightly, but it's the same thing, then people would have like some sense of like, all right, I don't have a problem blowing $400 now because I know next year it's not going to change. Engines are going to change everything, and that's not going to disappear.
Yep.
So I could see that, but you never know. I mean, like if Call of Duty were to go like that Decentraland route or like go, I don't even know, Web3, I guess, I feel like they would make a lot of money in that cosmetics field because that's all it is at the end of the day, like cosmetics or
I get
character
it, yeah.
things, But for Decentraland, like who even knows if that's going to be relevant in 2 years, 3 years?
That's that's
So,
yeah.
that I can see why that like, oh, I'm going to buy a $400 t-shirt and then hope that this is going to be the platform. It's all just a gamble, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
I don't know. I can't see it, but the fact that you got on it and were trying to run around is actually hilarious. I don't know.
It took me back to playing. I mean, it literally took me back to playing Minecraft. I mean, that's what it is. I think you buy a plot of land and then you can do
Whatever you want.
You do the creative stuff like if it were in Minecraft. But
Minecraft's dope, man. I think Minecraft's like the #1 selling game of all time or something like that.
it's I mean, look, I played Minecraft and I enjoyed doing
Yeah,
it, but
super dope. I fuck with
it
Minecraft.
got old in a hurry, and I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, hey, some people are going to dig it, some people aren't. We'll see. I mean, only time will tell. And like you said, until these big players get into it and start like actually doing renovations in that field, then we'll see. But we don't know.
I mean, I haven't played Minecraft in like forever, so I mean, they started to introduce microtransactions, and
I don't think so.
because I mean that's what Roblox is, right? Roblox is Minecraft with a bunch of microtransactions, and the ability to create content and sell it, right? So I mean that's
Hayden when he was playing a lot, so what you would do is you would join a server. And then, so it would never be something directly to Minecraft, but you would join a server, and then if you wanted to get like whitelisted or VIP or something, you would pay for that. So it wouldn't even go to Minecraft, I don't believe. It would just be like you paying a third-party service,
I
right?
always wondered how they made money, because I mean, I assume that Microsoft's play was to
just rent out servers, I think.
Right? And just fill up the Azure cloud and with hosting. So they were hoping to just basically get everybody to kind of host their worlds, their Minecraft worlds on their servers, which makes sense. But
dude, I've seen, Hayden was telling me about this one, I think it's called NoPixel, they bring home or to rent the server for the month. It's like $600,000 to have 100,000 people active on a server. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but he was saying some crazy number just to make sure the website or the server is just up and running and has all the mods, I guess, on there watching over. I mean, because I guess people are treating it like a full-time job once you start bringing in those crazy numbers.
Obviously they have to monetize it, right? So, if there's 100,000 people, there must be some allure.
Yeah.
And if you can get them each to pay $7 a month, right?
Yeah.
You cover the 600 costs and you make $100,000 a month, right? So,
Good for them, I guess, right? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, it's just, it's obviously such a dynamic world, and it's interesting. I mean, look, I will probably at some point dip my toe back into Decentraland just to see what's going on, but there was no allure. I mean, I mean, for me, and obviously, in my age category, I can't imagine that anybody is going to ever go to Decentraland and do anything there, right? It had no appeal. Even me as a gamer, I was just like, oh, God, this is just awful.
I'm with you, man. I can't wait to see something where you actually have to put those goggles on, maybe map out your house or something. You kind of move around, do your own thing. That would be super dope.
And, look, my expectations are probably just off the charts, but that was what I was kind of thinking Decentraland was going to be all about. I didn't expect it to be that level.
Yeah.
But, come on, 8-bit Minecraft
you gotta do better.
I'm like, no. It was just. I'm trying to think who the other. There were a lot of brands. I mean, there was probably at least a dozen fashion brands, and the only one that I think I've seen in the mall it began with an E. Forget Etro or Edo or something like. But anyway.
I'm not too sure.
I didn't recognize many of the names. I was kind of thinking in my head, okay, I'm going to see Adidas, I'm going to see Nike, I'm going to see all these ones, and didn't see any of it. Because I know Nike, Adidas.
They put something out on Confirmed.
Yeah, they got another 50 NFT drop that you can enter in as a drawing, and I thought that was Decentraland. Or tied to Decentraland.
They don't even have it on here anymore. But they definitely did. It was something. I saw a notification for it. It said NFT something.
Yeah.
I didn't do too much research into it.
Yeah. So look, I was just losing my mind. This just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts because I'm looking at the dollars that are sort of associated with it, and I'm like, this is not real. I mean, if anybody on this podcast or in the world thinks that people are spending millions of dollars on plots of land in Decentraland and there isn't some bullshit that's behind it, you're out of your mind. There's no way that somebody who has disposable income, $1 million in disposable income is buying a plot of land in Decentraland. All these famous people are getting that shit for free.
Oh, and they're just putting numbers behind it.
Yeah, they're putting some sort of numbers behind it or something, hoping that there's a bunch of dumbasses. But I'm like, I know who they're catering to, and I'm like, these people don't have this kind of money, it is smoke and mirrors. There is just some bullshit going on that's beyond me, right?
Unless they're saying that they're spending this big number and then just hoping for the smaller, the $10s, the $15 amounts that are among the masses.
And this is where I kind of, with these altcoins, right? I don't know, man. I'm guessing people are like, okay, we're going to release an XYZ coin, and each coin's worth $5,000 US, right? I guess you could just say it. Doesn't mean it's true, right? And then, okay, I'm doing all my transactions in this coin that I just created, and hey, I'm going to buy this plot of land, and I'm going to use 20,000 of these coins. So I just sold this for $1 million US, even though it's just bullshit.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I think with the coins, it's a little bit different because you have to have a market cap and you have to have a couple of things, right?
I guess for the mainstream ones, that's why Ethereum and Bitcoin have some validity to them, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that I've done is I went on OpenSea, right? OpenSea's the kind
NFT,
it's
eBay.
Like the eBay of NFTs. And if you look at almost all of the crap that's on there, and they're asking an exorbitant amount of money for a lot of the shit. Some of it's just a couple $100 or whatever. So there's stuff that's reasonable, but it shows you the history and nothing sold. None of it.
Some of it, like I said, I'm going to be on my Gary V here. Clip this podcast and put it in 5 years from now. I think NFTs are going to be mainstream probably for clothing and music moving forward. Because I say that because How many times have you been walking around and you see, like we always talk about it, I mean, we're a broken record here, right? But you're walking around and you see someone with the Nike Air Mags, the $15,000, they're the Back to the Future Nike silhouette shoes.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
If you were to see that, and rather than saying, oh, those are replicas, or oh, those are fake, you know, you could have a conversation with someone and be like, oh, here's my
NFT to
or
prove
my
they're
wallet,
real.
and here's my thing, you know. And that's why I think for clothing and for musicians or any type of artist, whether it be digital artists, it's going to be huge for utility. As far as the profile pictures, even we've seen it. We've talked about it. We've seen it. It's not going to sustain itself. Like we've seen it with the Bored Apes, and we saw it with the CryptoPunks. Those are the only two blue chip profile pictures NFT projects that are making noise because they're like the early adapters of it, right?
Yep.
Like, so I think for clothing it's going to be huge because you'll be like, oh, you got that exclusive minds thing, here's this, and here's their page, they have 10,000 more of this, and you could buy one and then they'll ship it to you.
I mean, I agree that I think NFT is definitely going to be, you know, the future of digital certificates or, you know, validation. But what's the value of that, right? I mean, you could hand out a certified piece of, you know, a letter of authenticity on a piece of paper, right? So it's just duplicating that in the digital world. And does that really, I don't know. I mean, it's not something that can't be replicated today in the real world. You know, I mean, Gary Vee, and I guess like if you look at the guys with the, they're all selling the NFTs, but they're taking it to that level where it's like a membership. It's a membership card, right? Yeah. And that's a different story, right? There's value behind that. I just, you know. Look,
I get your stance on that.
I don't argue NFTs because I think I get that. It's the coins that I don't necessarily believe in, right? And I think that, I mean, you know, I just honestly believe that all of the stuff that's going on today is just people of your generation trying to make a buck or thinking they can make a buck, and that's where that Ponzi scheme, maybe it's not a Ponzi scheme, but I think it's a con.
Yeah, I mean, today's the easy, I mean, they always say today's world's the easiest world to start a business and make money, but at the same time, it's also the hardest to maintain a business and progress. So I guess it's a double-edged sword, you know?
Yeah, I don't think there's any future in this digital avatar bullshit, but you never know.
You know, we'll see. Only time could tell. I mean, and going back to your point.
You're absolutely right. I mean, I could be totally wrong and just complete, you know, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, so the other thing is just like even the barrier of entry today is just
super
crazy.
Low.
Well, no, I mean, if
you're
like
talking about making an NFT, or what are you talking about?
I mean, if you want to buy into this ape yacht club, right? I mean, even day one, it wasn't cheap to get in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, compared to what it is now, super affordable. But you know, at the time, right? It's all a gamble. Like how we talked about Snoop Dogg buying a plot of land and sticking that's the one. You know, like you're kind of buying 5 apes, and then who knows? I mean, they did the number crunching. If you were to hold one from the beginning and receive all of the airdrops and all of the stuff that comes with it, the access and everything, I think you would be profiting like over $1 million. They said, because like the ape coin and stuff.
It's no, you're not. You're just not. It's crockett. No,
I wish we could. All right, so I want to get someone that has. I don't even know how the hell we would do that. We have to find someone that has a Bored Ape and get them on here. Like obviously someone that's like relatively really wealthy that they have one, right? And get them on here and ask them. What the hell's going on?
I want to talk to somebody who has monetized it, right? I don't give a crap if you have a Bored Ape or what's it, Terrific Tigers or whatever the hell it is. I mean, I want someone to tell me that they monetized it, right? They flipped it and turned it into real
cold hard
US
cash
currency, right? And, you know, you can debate whether U.S. currencies worth jack shit anymore, but
is it still backed by gold? Did we talk about that?
Let's go. No,
it's not backed by gold.
No, it hasn't been since the
60s, 70s,
30s.
30s? Wow.
Yeah, 20s, late 20s, 30s. That's when it transitioned off. So it's
That's
just
it's
a fiat currency, right? So it's just the government
with a promise.
Yeah, it's anyway. Long story. All right, so that's my Decentraland rant. I just went on 30 minutes of that. It was very disappointing. I was just like, what the hell is this? I mean, it just is garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I always give things a try.
This is, you know, it's in its infancy. So, okay, this is the starting point. Okay, great.
Yeah.
if you're investing in Decentraland, I think it's going to get steamrolled by something down the road, right? That's the thing with technology, right? It's not like, we're building homes in the suburbs of something, or we're building houses on the shore where you have some tangible value that we're not going to be able to create a secondary virtual world that layers over top of houses in Daytona Beach, right? I mean, this just is going to get steamrolled by something better, and then you're just all going to be kind of twiddling your thumbs and saying, "Oh my God, what happened?"
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. I feel like building a house in Daytona Beach is definitely less of a gamble than what we're talking about. But the payout would be substantially different. Sorry, I'm not using the right word, but significantly different if one were to hit versus if it didn't. Like you could either make 100x your profit if that was the thing, and kind of sounding like a broken record here, but that's just kind of how it is. But that one is more concrete.
I think that if you. That's the other thing, right? I mean, folks your age have the ability to kind of risk it all, gamble, right? Yeah. I mean, I can't do that, right? I can't risk, like I gotta pay for a house.
Absolutely.
You can't do it. So, I mean, that's the difference too. I mean, I think that's the reason why, some of this is going on, is because there's a lot of risk willingness in that age bracket that there isn't in, my age bracket. But I just, oh God, it drives me crazy.
Well, I mean, that was a good rant. That was dope.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely something worth talking about, because we always talk about it, but actually getting on it, that's a whole other ball game. I want to see COD or one of these first person shooters get into it. That would be super, super sick.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's probably the future, but yeah, it's just, that's more realistic, right? I mean, that's what I was expecting. Like, not, like I said, not, full blown 8K video, but I mean, you kind of I just had this expectation that it was going to have some realism to sort of being in an alternate universe. And it just, oh my God, it was like, oof.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Sure.
So let's talk Kanye West.
Oh, yeah. You've been listening. I walked in the house this morning and Joe's downstairs brewing coffee, listening to Donda. He was listening to...
so I wanted to keep my promise to listen to some of Yee's music, right? And so I listened to 2 albums, right? The one you recommended, the red one.
Dark Twisted Fantasy.
The one that has, what was the song? There's one song on it that was pretty... So anyway, I listened to that, and then I listened to Donda, right? Which is, I think, the latest.
Yeah.
Is that the last one he did?
Yeah, it just came out. He's working on Donda too.
Yeah.
Or it came out already or something. It's on Stem Player.
How many years were between those 2 albums?
I'll check. But you keep giving your review. I'll tell you how much. I
mean, I know he's probably got a dozen albums out, right? So there has got to be. It's amazing, right? I listened to that Red album, and I mean, I have never heard so many F-bombs in my life.
So that was 2010, and then he put out Donda, I think,
last year or
2021, right?
Yeah.
So
okay,
about
10
11
years.
11 years.
So it is clear as day, right? That it's funny what having kids will do to you, right?
Well, yeah, he censors it all, right?
No. So I mean, what's the name of the Red album? I should probably know it.
Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I literally just listened to it this morning. So
this one, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, where the hell did it go?
So, but I mean, every other word is F, right? It's F-bomb this. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. My beautiful dark twisted fantasy.
Like, I mean, every song is dropping the F-bomb, and I'm like, holy mackerel! Like, I mean, I'd be embarrassed to listen to this in public. I mean, the one song I think is the big song on the album, right? It was Monster, right? He has Jay-Z.
Yes.
And like that song is like literally like 6.5 minutes of just F this, F that, F you, F that.
I mean, it's a sign of different times, for sure, right?
And then I listened to Donda, and I'm like, wait a second, is this the same guy? Like, I mean, literally, is this the same guy, right? It's pretty mild and tame, and it's like, it's got obviously the religious slant. Even with all the F-bombs in the Red album, he still has a little bit of, you can hear the religious overtones in it, but I was like, oh, you can tell that this guy's had 3 kids or however many kids it is, and and now he's
Life's
a family
different.
Man, and he is in a different place, right? Because there are no F-bombs in Donda.
It's definitely a different arc
like,
or an era, you could say. I like Donda a lot for the fact of like he has more of like that choir type of vibe going in the background, like in It's called Hurricane. It has The Weeknd and Lil Baby in it, and be like, see this and
yeah. So I mean, even the Red album
sounds really good.
He has a lot. You can tell it's very layered, right? It's not just kind of just get up there and rap straight through. All the music is very layered, which is cool, right? So I mean, look, I didn't hate it. I mean, I don't,
They have speaking of Netflix things, he's on Netflix with he has a whole documentary from the beginning of his career with just starting off as a producer. So that might be interesting to watch.
Kind of walking through it, like
exactly. So like they were recording everything. I think that there was tales of like him being because he started off as a producer, right? So him being a producer, and that was like his main thing, to becoming like a rapper, getting Jamie Foxx on the songs, and it's a whole thing. It's like a 4-part documentary or something like that.
Yeah, I think he had Chris Rock on. I think he the Blame Game. I think he had Chris Rock in it. It sounded like Chris Rock. He's kind of doing this monologue, and I'm like, hey, that's Chris Rock. Yeah. So I mean, I've listened. I've listened to 2 full albums. I'll probably.
What'd you think though overall? What would you say like out of 10 for both of them? First one, the red cover.
I don't know. I mean, it's not my music, right? So I mean, would I go back and listen to it on a regular basis? No, I'm a Metallica guy, right? It is what it is. So I mean, I didn't hate it. I mean, the first one just kind of made me cringeworthy. I'm like, I could never. I
could not go
being
back and
who I am, could never listen to that album. Like, I couldn't drive down the street with my windows rolled down in the summer playing that album. No chance in hell.
So, do you think Donda was better than that one in your personal opinion?
So I mean, no. I like the other one better.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. That's dope.
But yeah, I mean, I could listen to Donda. You could listen to that in the car with the windows down, right? I mean, the other one, no, there's just no way I would ever.
Yeah.
Now I know why your windows are tinted.
Yeah.
I get it. So there's no. That's not an album. I mean, it would. Yeah, it's cringeworthy.
Everything all said and done about Kanye. I mean, we always talk about him on the show. I mean, he is a innovator in himself, and when he's doing these stadium parties of listening, I mean, it's super cool. I don't know anyone else that's doing that really. Even the stuff he did with Drake, we talked about the Amazon. Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like whole stadiums are getting like no rapper coming up is getting that type of traction.
So I guess the version I downloaded because I have Apple Music, right? So I downloaded the deluxe version of the Red album, and it's now called the Red Album forever because I can't remember. You literally just told me and I don't remember it. But at the end of that, there's a 34-minute video. So, I mean, the album itself is whatever it is, 12 individual songs. And then I guess there's this special, like, 34-minute video? It's just like a montage, but it's I think this is really where Kanye kind of excels because it's like it's like a 34-minute straight song.
Oh, dope!
I don't know if it's kind of like an opera or whatever it is, but I mean it's just a stream of consciousness versus individual songs, and that song I thought was really good. I think Beyonce's in that and stuff.
I'm not too sure what the name of the song was.
Let me look it up real quick if I can. I think it was like 34 minutes. See Me Now featuring Beyonce and Charlie. So I think it's like 34 minutes, and it's like, but it's just like a continuous. It's like a 34-minute song. I don't know how else to describe it. And I thought that was really good because it just, a lot of the layering and the chorus and orchestra and just like a constant stream of thought.
Now that you say that, there's a rapper by the name of Juice WRLD. He used to do the same thing. I mean, you should also give his music a shot when you can. He has a crazy fan base.
Let's not get carried away here with this.
No, right. But listen, so hear me out here. So he has a crazy fan base, but he passed away 2019. But he and another artist who also passed away, X, put a picture out, and it was both of their faces together, maybe hinting at some sort of like collab or something along that nature. But I wanted to hear what you had to think because I guess in your era of things, it would be like Michael Jackson after he passed away, kind of like their families kind of putting out their music after they passed. Like, is that like kind of forbidden or looked down upon?
No, that happens all the time.
But I'm saying from like your point of view, I mean, like, how do you feel about that? Because I know a lot of people, like for Juice WRLD and X, they wanted their stuff to be put out, and then I know that like for Michael Jackson, at least looking in, it's like if people were to put that out, that's kind of like, no, like don't cross that line. Like he wouldn't want it out because he's a perfectionist.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know the behind the scenes stuff, but I think a lot of times when an artist dies and they put out music post death, it's a money grab for the family.
Sure.
But who knows? I mean, if they put the work in and wrote the songs and just never released them, why shouldn't they see the light of day, right? So if it's content that they truly created and it isn't something that, they're piecing together through other artists or something like that, if it's legitimately their music and they just never got it published because they just, the time expired, unfortunately, in their lives, I don't see anything wrong with it. Let's hear it, right? I mean, that's,
Fair. No. I mean
I'm
that's
sure
super
that happened
dope.
with Biggie and it happened with
Tupac
for sure, right? Why not, right? Why not put the music out?
Yeah. Every time people say Tupac now, I think of all the memes with Jada and Will Smith.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's so exhausting.
And people are still talking about that to
Holy
this day.
shit, isn't it crazy?
Yes.
This world is freaking crazy. Like, it's such white noise. Like, who cares, right? I mean, honest to God, I have this argument all the time, and I get it. This world is just consumption and living vicariously through others. But I'm like, at the end of the day, like when I go outside the house or when I'm doing my day-to-day stuff, it means nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm convinced that there's a lot of NPCs going around.
It doesn't change the rotation of the world for me at all.
Sure.
Right? Who cares?
I always see those memes too. It'd be like the Earth before hearing this, and then the Earth after hearing this, and it's nothing's changed.
I'm like everybody else. I woke. I didn't watch the Oscars, but the next morning it was all over the internet, and I followed it for the day, and I thought it was kind of humorous, and it was just, you talk about it, but it's over, right?
Yeah.
Shit's been going on for 7 freaking days.
I hate that everyone feels like they have to comment on it. That's the one thing that I strongly all right, I know that we had our 2 cents about it, like we said whatever, but there's people oh my God, if I was there and that were to happen, escort out the building, and so on and so forth.
Well,
who the hell cares, right? I mean, it's Will Smith. He's a legend at the end of the day. He earned an the Oscar or Grammy, whatever it was. Who the hell cares? It's over with. He did it. I think he even resigned from
the Academy,
Academy and all this other stuff.
Which I don't even know if that means anything. He's still going to make movies, right?
No, so you I read about it. You could still nothing. You could still attend. You could still get nominated. Everything's the same. It's just you're just not part of the club, basically.
Big deal.
Long story short, who the hell cares? Will Smith's still dope, still a legend in my opinion.
But
Chris Rock's also dope.
This sums up in sort of this, little micro thing what this world is about. Everybody's got social media. Everybody has to be a news broadcaster. Everybody needs to be an opinion host, right? We all need to share our opinions about everything, right?
Yeah.
Because we can. And everybody, we all have an audience. And it's days have passed, right? This would be on the news and you and your little circle would talk about it for maybe an hour and then it would be forgotten. And, the mainstream news, which was 3 stations, right? ABC, NBC, and CBS back in the day, right? They wouldn't bring it up again because they'd be on to the next thing. And this is just nuts.
Yeah, well, because going back to that, when it happened, my mom was like, that was the headlining news topic. On television.
Yeah.
What about the stuff going on in Ukraine
Nah,
or what about the COVID stuff? We
don't say that word.
Well, yeah, we can't say that word,
borderline ban.
I don't know anyone who
We didn't get banned for my telling Google sucks last quarter or last.
Dude, I love the Google stuff, man. I don't know what.
All right, come on.
But no, I don't know anyone that has COVID-19 anymore. So, yeah.
There is no COVID. I'm kidding. Fact checkers, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, but yeah. So I don't know. That's basically the moral story.
So yeah, it's funny.
I mean, have you been paying attention to stuff that happened in Ukraine lately? I mean, I genuinely asking as person to person because I don't know. I genuinely don't know what's going on. Is everything cool? Is it still?
No. So I do. It's funny. I haven't. Like I said, I used to watch the news every day, and now I'm more playing video games, and I'm actually enjoying my life more because you get your head wrapped around that shit. It just. So anyway, I do dip my toe, obviously, in the news, and I think with Russia, right?
And for the record, it is April 2nd. We, if someone's listening to this and some crazy news happens after the fact, this is April 2nd. We don't really know too much what's going on.
I'm trying to think. So the big news, I think, recently was a fuel or an energy plant, like a fuel plant in Russia, land.
Mm-hmm.
Got attacked and blown up, and they blame the Ukrainians, right? And I'm like,
God. It's probably a self-sabotaging attack.
There's a couple things there, right? And I don't want to, we don't want to get in geopolitical, but it's funny to me. I'm like, okay, let me get this straight, right? So Russia's pissed that Ukraine potentially attacked one of their facilities on their land, and I'm like, did I just miss
on Ukraine's land?
No.
This
so
is on Russia's
land. Gas facility was in Russia,
okay,
right?
Gotcha, okay,
in Russian land, right? And I'm like, and Russia's like, so they're saying, oh, it's a red herring. Russia blew it up themselves just to kind of use this as a thing to point and say, look, we're being attacked. Mm-hmm. And I'm like to myself, did I just miss the last 37 days of Russia attacking Ukraine, and they're
Ukraine.
Pissed that the Ukrainians potentially retaliated?
Absolutely.
Or I mean, talk about the bully thing, right?
Yeah.
Punch the bully in the mouth, and I'm like, what just happened here?
Yeah, no. I mean, the last I heard, it was Ukraine didn't want to join NATO, but they wanted to have NATO support or something along those lines, but that was the last I've heard from him. And it's been a couple days.
Yeah, I think someone interviewed Zelensky. So I mean, at the bottom line is, they're just looking for some help. Right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
it just goes to show
whatever.
It goes to show how bad, I guess, the coverage of it is. Right? I mean, we haven't when it first happens. Breaking news, right? I mean, we're 30 days out. It still kind of seems like the same.
I mean, honestly,
problem, right?
The coverage is still wall-to-wall Ukraine. It's just that people aren't watching it as much.
Yeah, maybe I fall victim to that. I don't really see it.
I mean, we have very short attention spans, especially when it comes to, media stuff, right? I mean,
that's very true.
That's so okay. The first day it was kind of wild. The second day it was kind of, whoa, that's his interest. Mm-hmm. It's like the Gulf War, right? I mean, look, I mean, it was 20 years, right? I think the hype was the first year, and then it's sort of just every year after that, people, just went about their day-to-day business and kind of forgot about it, even though it was still going on. So,
Yeah. I mean, hey.
We're all creatures of habit.
We'll still team Ukraine over here. So.
Yes, for sure. But I'll always be team Ukraine because I'm Ukrainian.
Yeah, I mean, how much percent Ukrainian are you? Do you know? Did you ever get an ancestry test?
Yeah, well, no. Yeah. Big part, I would imagine, since my last name's Ukrainian. So, I mean, I know my grandparents actually were first generation Ukrainian. So,
dang, you were doing Ukrainian.
So I am
before
definitely
it was cool.
Ukraine.
W.
Yeah.
Cool.
So anyway,
where we at?
Well, almost an hour. So this is another one of those long podcasts where we just sort of went off.
Yeah, dude. Good. I was kind of nervous going into today. I'm not gonna lie, because like I said, it's been super slow week.
I wasn't worried. I knew that Decentraland thing was going to keep us going because I just literally could go off about that forever.
I always so like the way, I mean, we're kind of rambling here, but I always just go throughout the week taking notes. This week, I mean, my classes were all on Zoom. I mean, didn't have nothing going on really at the house besides the NFT stuff. We had a small little party for a birthday, and that was about it. I mean,
yeah. Well, so I'm carrying you.
Yeah, thank God.
You better step up
me
next
one.
week.
I mean, you owed me one for the past.
No, that's true. We definitely. So that's good. That's what it's about. Right? That's why that's why I'm not the only one talking. So
I see Chris D'Elia. He does solo podcasts. He's on episode 240, and he does solo podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to Ben Shapiro, and I'm like, man, that has got to be just hard as hell to do.
Right. I mean, he has a team behind him, granted, giving him topics, feeding him stuff, but still, like you're like sitting there, kind of feeding off yourself. You kind of have to have like a sense of humor at the same time of like, I don't know, I guess just rolling by yourself. I mean,
yeah, it is. I mean, that's got to be tough. I don't know if I could do that format. This is so much easier, I think. I mean, I haven't really tried the solo stuff, but I'm like, oof.
If you were to try to do it, it would be rough. Definitely would be rough.
Maybe we do that as like a special edition one. Like you try one and I try one, and then we put it up and then we comment on it.
Right.
Like, oh my God, that was awful.
We do like a 20-minute clip and we'll just morph them together and then make a 40-minute one.
Seriously, we should try that. I mean, I can't even imagine. You'd have to like, I know we just kind of show up and talk.
Yeah.
That I think you'd have to actually map out.
You would have to prepare for
Yeah,
sure.
you'd have to really prepare for it. And who wants to prepare?
Everyone, send us an email for, what was it, stickers? And we also have these. I don't know if you're sending these.
Yeah, we've got
in the
little
mail.
magnets now.
Yeah, I'll have to do a social media run with those because I always forget to do it. I always remember you saying, email. So if you want a magnet or a sticker, what's the email?
team@exmnds.com.
Good deal. So you get a free sticker and a free magnet.
The magnets are cool. I mean, they're like
sick.
little, 3x3 inch, but they're pretty slick. The green smiley face for those that are in the know.
Yeah.
Are we? We're doing that car and coffee thing, right, on the 16th of April.
Is it
locally?
the 16th? Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked to him yesterday. It's still going, still good.
All right, so that'll be. We're gonna try and do a live podcast. We'll record some there.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Because I don't know. For one, I mean, obviously it's a car event, so I would imagine it's gonna be loud. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, people just park their cars and then just kind of walk around.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we can meet someone there that has a Bored Ape
or a Bugatti.
Yeah,
which is
then we could finesse.
For me, a lot more valuable than a Bored Ape.
We could do some finessing, get what's it called? Maybe a job lined up. If they have a Bugatti, they have to have a business, right?
That's true. And maybe you could do an internship with
live internship.
Or maybe we can find somebody who's actually, bought a car with crypto.
Holy shit. Yeah, that'd be sick. All right.
Anyway, so we're good. Peace out, everyone. We'll catch you on episode 24.
Kobe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan today. Kobe next week. Sweet.
Cool. All right.
See you.
Later.
Yeah. Let me drop exclusive game from my exclusive mind. You be out here chasing fame, I stay steady on my grind. 0 diamonds, 0 chains, from my brain is where I shine. Hit you with them good lyrics, I ain't writing and I'm dying. And right now I'm alive, so check it. I reckon I shouldn't cuss on this record. I don't cuss on them often because I'm applying pressure. Grab that fire grind. 0 diamonds, 0 chains, from my brain is where I shine. Hit you with them good lyrics, I ain't writing and I'm dying. And right now I'm alive, so check it. I reckon I shouldn't cuss on this record. I don't cuss on them often because I'm applying pressure. Grab that fire from my dresser. EXM, who does it better? No, I won't let up. Gas pedal fully pressed, I do the dash to the checks. If it ain't assets, I'm never stressed. I keep it calm and collect. Most of y'all stuck in some debt, and you got bad credit. I learned my lesson, I was young and foolish, now I'm better. I kept my head up through the stormiest weather. Wipe my eyes and focused on where I'm headed. We call that constant progression. If we in Vegas and the option is betting on me, you know we cashing out to the teller. Now let me switch my endeavor, change up my whole approach. Let's have a toast to those who do the most. Achieving goals on the road to their dreams, on the path to the cream, counting stacks with their team, living lavishly, but still actively aware that they can be a casualty, so they don't lack humility and they don't dabble with degree. Yes, they focused on the plan ahead. They know impact will lead to bread, and the bread equals success and less frets. Got some things to accomplish. When someone hits my line, it's not about some nonsense. We making moves, always grinding, we popping. You know we not gonna stop, and never no option but time, and the perfect time is right now. Not caught up in tomorrow. I'm all about making a conscious decision while I'm living. Make a choice, then I'm committed to that vision. I pivot if necessary. It's scary when you get caught in a position that isn't hitting you down bad because you're persistent in the wrong direction. Just learn your lesson, you gotta check it. Audit you and keep on getting better. That's the motive, that's the method. And I'm headed further than I ever thought I could make it. I wouldn't stop unless my pulse flat lines like the doctor lost his patience.